Welcome. Okay, so Chris Bledsoe's prophecy around the Easter, we knew that he said that the astrology was wrong, that the alignment of Regulus was not going to be April, it was going to be somewhere around the 7th of October. So what does that mean? What's coming this year? I feel there's energy coming. I feel there's some knowledge being activated, as especially since we have the movement this month in April of Uranus moving into Gemini, which is all about information and knowledge being brought forth, radical shifts of out of the box eccentric type information, things that we never would have thought about, higher perspective type of thinking. So I feel we've got this radical change in our thought processes coming forward so that information can be released. But what does it mean for the end of the year with this prophecy, Chris Bledsoe prophecy? What could we possibly be seeing? And I'm going to bring in a different deck as well today. So wisdom, knowledge being brought forth, a quest for knowledge being brought forth, very opposite, perhaps even opposite to what we currently understand. So knowledge or information that could be a little bit opposite to what we currently have been taught about our creation. And it's really funny because I've just done a creation reading, the soul's journey, reincarnation, resurrection, Osiris and Thoth energy. Okay, but we're talking about moving into the future as Uranus steps into Gemini. We're stepping into information about that knowledge coming through. Now I'm going to use a completely different deck today. So the deck that I wanted to use today, can't find it, and I've got two very old decks that are all about kind of mystery things. They've got all cards in there, they've got all kinds of weird stuff, but I cannot find either deck. So this is the deck that I'm going with today because it's the deck that I can find. Practical, in your face, kind of just words, there's no interpretation required. So let's see what the cards want to reveal today. What does the Chris Bledsoe prophecy really mean? Okay. Talking about crafts, invading, disarming warheads. Now, why is this interesting? Because in some of the old sightings that they've had around military bases, the crafts come in and disarmed warheads. Maybe even private sector companies this happened in. How is this connected to the prophecy is that the lady said when you start to see missiles being exchanged between Israel and Iran, this is when certain things may be seen. Now, what this is making me think of is that when we are at risk of nuclear war here in the world, that's when other craft intervenes to disarm warheads. So maybe that's what it kind of means. So will we see sightings of orbs or other crafts in the sky? Well, first of all, let's ask it in two questions. Will we see more activity, orb activity, or spacecraft activity? All these cards are so funny. Okay, we've got teleporting. On the other side is rumours and speculation. Now we've got preparing the people for the possible sighting, so not to cause mass panic, for our safety. Now that could be to do with warheads. Now one side says Japan, the other side says August. Interesting. Okay, will we see more craft or orbs appearing in our skies because the tension escalates around and they need to de-escalate or disarm weapons here? There's a new technology that they're worried about. There's a new technology they're worried about. Orbs. And leaders are briefed. Okay, I think we're getting into really nitty-gritty things here now. So leaders briefed on new technology, could be orb related. Now, though, we're saying when all the orbs were seen in New Jersey, that then the government apparently sent their own new technology orbs to confuse people. Scout craft on the bottom. Okay, let's go further down that trail. Leaders are briefed about the possible sightings of orbs. Now, where that comes into the Chris Bledsoe prophecy is that he's in talks with certain bases, certain NASA. There's all different people, which I found interesting, that he's very connected to them. There's a lot of briefing satellites here. There's a little bit of distraction going on there as well. In the first reading I got, there's some kind of deception involved. There's a little bit of distraction at play. So we'll be distracted to look at one thing when stuff is happening. Okay, narrowing it down, distraction. The thoughts that I was thinking about was the connection with Chris Bledsoe. Okay, I'm getting distracted right now. Mind fog, actually, brain fog. I'm getting wiped right now. Okay, I'm going to rely fully on the cards now. Where to next? There's things they're not telling us. They've been briefed in command. Because my mind's wiped, my mind is being blocked right now, doesn't mean that the cards don't work. Spirit can come straight through to the cards without my interpretation. So let the cards tell the story of what they're wanting to connect these dots here. Let's connect the dots. Decode this situation. Connected to battles. Man-made technology. That could be those orbs that were sent in. Signs. Signs in the sky or signs that would be seen. Signs given in the Chris Bledsoe prophecy was the missiles exchanged between Israel and Iran, but also the regular star. Full disclosure. Okay, full disclosure versus the distraction card. Classified information about captured craft, technology beyond our communication, our comprehension, what they've learned by capturing craft and reverse engineering. Full disclosure. Orbs on the bottom of the deck. Interesting how certain, and I will read on this actually, I did a reading on my other channel about the missing general, but there's been other people in the UFO community that have gone missing or been taken out. I feel that's got to be a reading on its own. Okay, moving forward. Executive orders to proceed with that. Some of them could have been abductions, missing people, retaliation, and cold fusion. Technology, maybe, weaponry. Okay, again, I'm very brain fog, which I don't mind being. It just means that I can be an open channel. So, mothership or craft. Now, the connection here that I've got to stay on topic was what it does a Chris Bledsoe prophecy. What does it really mean? What does it really mean from the lady? Let's tap into the lady's energy. Again, they're wanting to talk about strategies, leaders being briefed and in command, reverse engineering technology, superior technology, elites evacuating. So elites in the know about what's coming and putting forth strategies and plans. What's coming? What is it? What's coming? If they know, why don't we know? Watch what's coming, watch the skies. Okay, what's coming? We need to watch the skies. We need to, because the truth has been hidden. Now that could be coming through distractions, that could be coming through clouded skies, so we cannot watch the skies. But we need to be watching the skies because they're trying to hide something from us at the moment. And what is it they're trying to hide? Technology. Disarming weapons, which the connection there would be the past, where when there's been threats of war, that certain missiles were disarmed. Now, then when we see the lady saying, when there's missiles exchanged between Israel and Iran, why wouldn't they come in and disarm or disable weapons? Using certain technology. What will we see? Will we see something? What does it mean for us, the normal, regular people? Distractions. There'll be distractions, so we're not aware. Utopia. It's the second time I've seen the card. I'm not sure what it means. A weak defenses against that kind of technology. Partial disclosure on the bottom of the deck. Will we see orbs? Will we see orbs at that time? Around October. Partial disclosure in the west. Partial disclosure in the west. Okay, so Utopia's fallen out again with the disclosure or partial disclosure, but on the back of the card it says satellites. Does this mean humanity is getting more knowledge revealed to us? People are safe. People will be safe. Now, the leaders briefed and in command, what do they know? It's not what you think. Okay, well, what is it? That the enemy's already here. In unmanned craft. And certain people are going into hiding. Why would they want to go into hiding? For safety. For safety. Okay, but the people are safe, they say. Okay, so you said the people are safe. The people that can't go into hiding, they're safe. Okay, so there's they don't want to cause mass panic, but there could be nefarious dealings in the background or strategy around nefarious dealings. They don't want people in mass panic. Should people be concerned? Now, maybe toxic air. UFOs. This is just entertainment purposes only. This is really just a bit of fun. Okay, now you've got a line of, you know what would be great with these cards? Quick fire questions, weird stuff connected to these kind of cards. So if you want to pop some questions in, just if I could just read off a bunch of, because I don't have to be logic. They just made that clear to me. They just showed me how I don't have to have any logic connection. They'll just straight up bring the answers straight through. So if I was to rapid fire a whole bunch of questions that you have about these weird things, anomalies, toxic energy, toxic, India, toxins in India, or toxic air in India. What does that mean? Then I'll read through your questions, and with this little fun deck. UFO. Compromise. Now maybe that's radiation. Okay, getting back to Chris Bledsoe and how the prophecy was moved from April to October. Will we see something in October? It's different. It'll be different again. Maybe it won't be October. Maybe it will be different, but there'll be a bit of unrest. Will we see something in August? I say August because the August card came out earlier. Keep your eyes on the elites in August. Evacuating elites into hiding, cloaking. Search and rescue. Pulse weapon, EMF. So EMFs, radiation. Leaders briefed. Keep an eye on elites, public figures in August. Okay, anything else that we really need to know? What would you like to tell us that we need to know? Okay, there's a foreign adversary. Protecting. Okay, it says what we need to know, and I'm not sure, this fell on its side, so I don't know which side it's meant to be. So on one side it says watch the skies, that's what we need to know. On the other side it says bunkers. Protecting. Foreign adversary. Military operation. Taiwan on the back of that card. Okay, you said the people will be safe, is that right? You said the people will be safe. Okay. Executive orders, Pentagon. Okay, let's read those two. Pentagon executive orders. What are they? What do you want to tell us about that? Lockdowns or outages. Lockdowns or outages. Uncertainty unknown. Connected to satellites. Or outages would be satellites. People are safe. Okay. People are safe, or keeping people safe. Executive orders from Pentagon. Brief people in the know. Keeping people safe. Maybe when satellites get affected and there's uncertainty or the unknown, there's outages and lockdowns. They could be all connected to this, what's going on here. And tell me, what is it that's going on? What's causing this? Nefarious dealings. Could be Project Bluebeam. Something that defies physics. But they're not telling us. Final spread. Final card spread. Okay, outages could be man-made. We have underground facilities and certain strategies. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, but I think it would be good to read on the missing UFO specialists or recent UFO people with knowledge that have passed Or are they just the underground facilities working on strategies? Might be an interesting reading, but I think it'd also be a good reading just to read out a whole bunch of your questions. So please do drop some in the comments and I will do that with this fun little deck. Thank you so much for watching.